Hi everyone, Kenfinity here, and here's my review of The Great Race, directed by Blake Edwards, starring Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, Natalie Wood, Peter Falk, Larry Storch, Lily Provine, Hal Smith, Keenan Wynn, Marvin Kaplan. um, it's a great cast, really is. About a few. Mark McReady. It's a great cast, it really is. And this film takes place in 1908, where in New York there is this great racer named the Great Leslie, and there's this professor named Professor Fate as an assistant whose name is literally is Maximilian. Maximilian Mean, and so he calls him Maximilian, and sometimes Max. Oh yeah, and the great Leslie, it's a great racer, he's so great at racing and everything. And Doctor Fate, just wants that too. He wants that recognition while he's creating all these things. Not really for the best purposes. He's kind of mischievous, and so one day the great Leslie talks to a lot of important officials in New York. Yeah, because they're not really governments. Yeah, but they're really important officials there. And so they'd be nice. There's a race from New York to Paris. Oh yeah, and so and Doctor Fate arrives there in disguise. He really didn't know he was there at first. Yeah, didn't recognize later on. I don't want to give away how, but you do recognize. And so you're ready for this race now, and this newspaper, the newspaper, the big newspaper publisher there, it's mainly just men. And so this lady comes, this woman, and she wants things to be more equal between men and women and everything. She handcuffs herself to the doors, and the owner and his sister's like, "What are you doing?" And they get her to, to unhandcuff herself. And she goes to the Great Leslie, let her know that he wants the race too. And then but he tells her, nah, you know, no, you don't have to. Yeah. No, not just your room with this, just to be safe. And so she goes to Professor Fate. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" So at first, and so she gets her own car and races too. And a little bit after they start racing, her car stops because it wasn't really the right kind of car for long distance. And so she gets to go with Gray Leslie and his assistant. Oh yeah, his assistant. Uh, assistant. I know the assistant's name. I have it right there, but goes with Ray Leslie and his assistant instead. And so, oh yeah, and Professor Fate is sending all these traps to stop them, but it doesn't really work. And as they go along, they stop at this one place. It's pretty close to Paris, but not Paris yet. And then they get to Paris, and it's really good. I don't want to give away who wins or anything, but it was really well done. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's really great. It's really funny. It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those classic movies that really funny, but it still has that heart to it. Because it's not trying to be super intense. With the race and everything. It's just showing how they're racing and how the Great Leslie is trying to win, and our Professor Fade match kind of cheating and trying to win. But it really just shows how they're racing. It was really well done. And it shows what they had back then. To race and the technology. Yeah, and also how things were for women, and how they were getting more and more rights and everything. Of course, because we're all people, so it's showing, that now can race. And it was great. It was really well done. Yeah, it was, yeah, pretty much, oh, everything was great. Oh, yeah. I would like to see more of preparation for the race. Getting ready, to race. Because since it's such a far distance, I'd like to see a little bit more fresh plates, and Max trying to, stop Ray Leslie, everything. Because it was mainly just them racing. But yeah, it was mainly just them. Oh yeah, but it was great. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Oh yeah, it is 1 star on the floor. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And these videos, Harris-Kenfinity.